So in this video, I wanted to take a quick look at a Lamy balloon. This is a rare, at least here in the US, Lamy Rollerball. It's designed for students and it's made entirely out of plastic and it has a sub $10 retail price. So it's a pretty interesting offering. It is small and it's not particularly fancy how it's built, but it's reminiscent of some of the other more expensive Lamy pens, in particular the Safari and Scribble, which we'll get into in a minute. So here is the balloon. It's sold in blue and red and green and orange, I think, but no other colors. It is a capped rollerball pen. Again, very similar to a smaller Safari, which we'll get into in a minute. All plastic though, translucent plastic cap, plastic clip. Some cool inner workings there, but really nothing particular to see except for the little seal mechanism, which you can't really see on a lot of Lamy pens. Very simple body, looks a lot like a Safari. Has the triangular grip, similar to a Safari or Vista. Same with that seal here. Open it up, and you can see it's very similar to the Safari or Vista. And the main difference now is that the balloon uses this strange little refill, and this is called the Lamy T11, just a plastic rollerball refill. You don't see them very often, but you don't see this pen very often here in the US. And if you just pop it open, you can see what it looks like. And these are pretty affordable. It's all plastic, maybe like $1 each, something like that. See this little stopper here, and that's just to make everything fit together nicely. This just goes here, kind of goes right in there. And that is all there is to the Lamy balloon. Very light, very simple, well constructed in the same way that a Safari is well constructed. And here are the two next to each other. I'll line up the bottoms. You can see the Safari has about almost ½ an inch capped, so good deal larger as pens go. And then with the cap off, again, about ½ inch larger there. As for the pens themselves, you can see a few similarities. Like here, you can see they're both squared off. Both have that little circle around there. Both are made in Germany. The two have very similar front sections. In fact, my bet would be that it's the same exact component used, and that the balloon just has this shorter cap, and the Vista and the Safari use a longer cone or cap, whatever you want to call it. But the pieces are basically identical, except for one being glossy, translucent plastic, and this one being a textured plastic. But if you look at a Vista, it's the same glossy, translucent plastic. That one's actually transparent, but you get the point. And then if we take the two apart, we know they're not going to be interchangeable, right, because of this piece here. But I believe they will screw in without a problem. So I don't know what that means for the long run, if that introduces any interesting mods or anything like that, but it's worth considering. I had the Safari have a Pilot G2 in there, so I guess I had some spacers. Back to the balloon. So it is for students. Lamy calls it the ideal complement to a student fountain pen, and that's a European phenomenon where students still learn. At least a few years ago, we're still learning to write with fountain pens. But if you're doing some quick scribbling or quick notes, sometimes you do want a ballpoint or rollerball, so that's why Lamy sells this pen, and it seems like a very good fit. I like writing with it. It's a little on the small side, but not impractical. And if you like a Safari or Vista, you'll definitely like this one. It's in many ways a cheaper alternative to me for the Scribble than the Scribble. Scribble's a nice, short, little, highly transportable pen for jotting, but it's a ballpoint, and actually like the, I tend to grab Rollerballs, but these two are very similar size. The Scribble's a lot heavier and a lot more expensive. This one's about, I don't know, maybe $40. This one's under 10. This one's like not quite disposable, but nearly disposable, where the Scribble is something you want to hold on to. But they're about the same size, and both good just for quick notes or having in a bag or pocket. The issue with the Scribble, again, is that it's expensive and it's on the heavy side, so it's not ideal for always having with you. And then just to do some scribbling the way a student would, this is a Lamy balloon, and it uses the T11 refill, which is only from Lamy. It's a nice, very solid Rollerball. Writes well in the medium, smooth, no real problems with it. But you know, I think everyone likes the Lamy M63 and M66. Those are good everyday refills, so the T11 is no different. It's very similar, it just happens to be an all plastic version of them. Anyway, that's it. If you're looking for a highly transportable, somewhat cool pen, check out the Lamy balloon. Thanks for watching.